太阳呐，哎呀，手的太阳哎呐，手的太阳呀，真那谁，真那谁，真那谁，手的太阳呐，哎呀，哎呀，哟，哎呀。
Our ancestors loved this land. They saw the work of the Great Spirit in the trees and the wind, in the sun and the moon and the earth, even in the rocks. And they approached him through these things. They loved their Creator through his creation.
Tatanga Mani, or Walking Buffalo, a Stony Indian, said in 1871, "Hills are always more beautiful than stone buildings. Living in a city is an artificial existence. Lots of people hardly ever feel real soil under their feet. When people live far from scenes of the Great Spirit's making, it's easy for them to forget his laws."
The Indian people of this continent were close to nature. The white men who conquered them were not. Since the Indians saw God's hand in their natural surroundings, nature was a part of their religion. To be separated from their land was to be separated from their religion, much as the destruction of a church would have disrupted a non-Indian Christian.
But the taking away of land or destruction of a church, as cruel as it may be, does not destroy a person's faith unless he allows it to do so. An Indian today can be proud of his heritage. There is no dishonor in suffering. All great peoples have suffered. Indeed, all the messengers of God have suffered. Suffering can be a strengthening process, as the heating of iron turns it into steel.
Our Indian ancestors had reverence for this land and were close to the laws of the Great Spirit. Today, most of the land is taken, but our closeness to the Great Spirit cannot be taken. We have suffered, but we were being prepared. Our destiny is much greater than this country or continent, for today the earth is one land.
God has sent Baha'u'llah, the new messenger for this day, who fulfills the hopes and prophecies of the ancient chiefs and holy men. Baha'u'llah himself suffered. He was poisoned and imprisoned. All of his property was taken away, and his family and loved ones killed or persecuted. Abdul Baha, his oldest son, came to this country in 1912 and told the people not to despair, that the Indian people had a special place in the destiny of the entire world, a destiny far more glorious than even returning to their old ways, for this is the age of light.
For generations, we have been involved in a struggle that has almost become a tragedy. But we still drum and sing, laugh and joke. We will not give up. Our heritage is one of greatness in human and spiritual resources. Life patterns of fulfillment, beauty and dignity are a source of pride.
In the recent past, some Indians have been ashamed to be Indian. They've been made to feel inferior. Maybe they forgot their ancestors were a noble race. Though there was much hardship and life was considered primitive by modern standards, a way of life existed without prisons, jails, insane asylums, or even money as we know it. An Indian could live a life of fulfillment. Such a life is rare today.
Many Indians today are striving to adjust to new patterns of thinking and living. But we cannot cut ourselves off from our heritage without becoming like a tree without roots or nourishment. Nor can we ignore our destiny, for then the tree will not bloom and bear precious fruit.
As Baha'is, we realize the importance of our past, how suffering has made our hearts receptive and more sensitive to spiritual values and the great message of unity and justice brought by Baha'u'llah. His teachings confirm many of the ways upon which were built great Indian societies of the past. He has brought new teachings and a way through which we can build a new civilization, uniting all peoples of the world in peace and harmony.
For centuries we have known that we are all brothers and sisters under the same Creator, the Great One who has always sent messengers to guide His people. Our ancestors strove to live in accordance with His guidance and lead their people in a straight path, one of honor, truth, respect, and reverence for all things upon the earth. How do we begin to restore our moral and spiritual values? And what are our responsibilities as followers of Baha'u'llah? Prayer has the greatest influence on the spirit of man, and it is not new to the Indian. In the life of our forefathers, there was only one inevitable duty, the duty of prayer, the daily recognition of the unseen. Daily prayer was more necessary than food, for prayer is the nourishment of the spirit, and we cannot let it go hungry, or we will become weak.
Baha'u'llah has revealed many prayers for our guidance and assistance. One which Baha'is say at midday:
I bear witness, O my God, that Thou hast created me to know Thee and to worship Thee. I testify at this moment to my powerlessness and to Thy might, to my poverty and to Thy wealth. There is none other God but Thee, the help in peril, the self-subsisting Baha'u'llah.
We worship the Creator in everything we do, and see the Great Spirit's work in almost everything: sun, wind, trees, animals, mountains, streams. That which is beautiful provides inspiration. All days are God's. We must strive that our actions and thoughts, day by day, may become beautiful prayers. Spiritual nourishment has always been sought by Indians through dreams, purification, the vision quest. To purify oneself, to see more clearly the way of the Great Spirit, has been and is still a longing in our hearts. Through fasting, the body is purged and the spirit gains mastery over the body.
Baha'u'llah has set aside a time for fasting, the last 19 days of each Baha'i year. Our new year begins on the first day of spring, March 21st. In preparation for the new year, we observe the fast from sunrise to sunset, abstaining from food or drink. The Baha'i fast is a symbol, a reminder. As we abstain from physical appetites, a purification of mind, spirit, and body begins. Our purpose becomes detachment from the flesh and self-desire. Our spirits grow stronger in reliance on God.
Each year, Baha'is all over the world set aside the period of March 2nd through the 20th to observe the fast. Children under the age of 15, invalids, travelers, those who are too old or weak, women with child, or those who are nursing are exempt. But all Baha'is can observe the spirit of the fast in strengthening their inner being.
By prayer and fasting, we can so raise the quality of our being that we greet the spring stronger in spirit, with our bodies purified for higher service.
The pure and lofty conceptions of our ancestors towards the Great Spirit remain true today. Their society was based on spiritual values. Their manner of conduct with one another, in courtesy and respect, with kindness and honesty, was documented as noble and peaceful. High moral and ethical standards produced a society which has been recorded as surpassing that of the European civilization of the time. History is filled with accounts of early meetings of the original inhabitants of America and the Europeans who were treated with generosity and honor.
Treachery and greed provoked a change in Indian attitudes towards the white men. But even after centuries of wars and battles, the Indian was extolled for bravery and courage.
Character qualities so ingrained in Indian life are once again confirmed in the Baha'i writings as a foundation of the new civilization we are building.
O Son of Spirit, my first counsel is this: possess a pure, kindly, and radiant heart, that thine may be a sovereignty ancient, imperishable, and everlasting.
When man in all conditions is pure and immaculate, he will become the center of the reflection of the manifest light. In all his actions and conduct, these must first be purity, then beauty and independence. The channel must be cleansed before it is filled with sweet water. The pure eye comprehendeth the sight and the meaning of God. The pure nostril inhaleth the perfumes of the rose garden of bounty. The pure heart becometh a mirror of the beauty of truth.
Truthfulness is the foundation of all human virtues. Without truthfulness, progress and success in all of the worlds of God are impossible for any soul. When this holy attribute is established in men, all the divine qualities will also be acquired.
Courtesy is, in the primary station, the Lord of all virtues. Blessed is he who is illumined with the light of courtesy and is adorned with the mantle of uprightness. He who is endowed with courtesy is endowed with a great station.
Be fair to yourselves and to others, that the evidences of justice may be revealed through your deeds. Equity is the most fundamental among human virtues.
The purpose of the one true God in manifesting himself is to summon all mankind to truthfulness and sincerity, to piety and trustworthiness, to resignation and wisdom. His object is to array every man with the mantle of a saintly character and to adorn him with the ornament of holy and goodly deeds.
The sword of a virtuous character and upright conduct is sharper than blades of steel.
Good character is verily the best mantle for men. The light of good character surpasses the light of the sun of his effulgence. He who attains thereto is accounted as the essence of men. Upon this the honor and glory of the world are based and are dependent. Good character is the means of guiding men to the right path and the great message.
To be a Baha'i, to be a Native American, clinging to the traditions and generosities of the past, while walking this new yet familiar path with firm steps, will contribute greatly to the richness of the American Baha'i community and the worldwide community of the greatest name.
Upon thee be the glory of the most glorious.
Walk again in the way of the Great Spirit, in unity, in beauty, and in love. We dance in the circle of the hoop. The earth will tell all her children that we are together again. This is the day in which we expand the circle of unity.
We begin with our family and our community, forming bonds of love and fellowship. Through our Baha'i community, we are linked together in unity and purpose and understanding with other families, communities, and peoples of this country and the entire world.
It is important that within this circle of unity, our culture and traditions be preserved, for then they will flower once again as a new world civilization unfolds.
Baha'i life is not different from the Indian way. It is a renewal. Only the occasions for observance and celebration are sometimes different. And it is important that these special Baha'i occasions become a part of our community life wherever Baha'is live.
As Baha'is, we have a new confidence in expressing our age-old customs and can allow the manner of Baha'i observance to evolve and be adapted to the way of our people. Our traditions and ceremonies have sustained us and have much inner meaning. They are the result of our endeavors to fulfill the meaning of our lives.
The importance of children within Indian community and family life has always been. Our children have kept us from fading away, for they are our hope for the future. The naming of children has been important to us. The son of Baha'u'llah, Abdu'l-Baha, has told us, when thou wishest to name a babe, prepare a meeting therefore. Chant the verses, and commune and supplicate, and implore the threshold of oneness, to beg the attainment of guidance for the babe, and wish confirmated firmness and constancy. Then give the name, and enjoy beverage and sweetmeat. As Baha'is, this is a joyous event.
Oh God, educate these children. These children are the plants of thine orchard, the flowers of thy meadow, the roses of thy garden.
Let thy rain fall upon them. Let the sun of reality shine upon them with thy love. Let thy breeze refresh them, in order that they may be trained, grow and develop, and appear in the utmost beauty. Thou art the giver, thou art the compassionate. Abdu'l-Baha.
Our children are our most precious gifts, and we must strive that they may be educated in spiritual matters and prepared to the best of our abilities for productive lives in the material world as well. Many tribes have special ceremonies honoring the age of maturity of their young people. Puberty rites for young women, special achievements of manhood for young men. This too is an important time for Baha'is. The Baha'i writings set the age of maturity at 15 years for youthful men and women.
Baha'i youth are to be educated in spiritual matters and encouraged to independently realize the truth of Baha'u'llah's message for themselves. At the age of 15, they are invited to become enrolled members of the Baha'i community and to assume a more active and vital role in the affairs of their community and the faith at large. This is truly a special event, and plans should be made by family, friends, and the community to honor this occasion.
ceremonies and celebrations which have been of great importance for generations, giveaways, preparations for spiritual meetings, the blessing of precious corn, the burning of sacred tobacco. They are times for coming together, gatherings of family and friends. The heart of Baha'i community life is the 19-day feast, the very foundation of the New World Order of Baha'u'llah. This feast is of great importance. The Baha'i calendar consists of 19 months of 19 days with 5 intercalary days. Each Baha'i month, the Baha'i community should set aside one day or evening for the 19-day feast.
All over the world, Baha'is celebrate this feast and establish a rhythm and regularity which keeps them in harmony with the cycle of life. This gathering is to bring our hearts together. Abdu'l-Baha has written of the 19-day festivities. This feast is a bringer of joy. It is the groundwork of agreement and unity. It is the key to affection and fellowship. It diffuses the oneness of mankind.
Raise it to the highest point of importance, so that it may become continual and constant. The believers of God must assemble and associate with each other in the utmost love, joy, and fragrance. They must conduct themselves with the greatest dignity and consideration, chant divine verses, peruse instructive articles, read the tablets of Abdu'l-Baha, encourage and inspire each other with love for the whole human race, invoke God with perfect joy and fragrance, sing the verses, glorifications, and praises of the self-subsistent Lord, and deliver eloquent speeches. The first part of the feast is entirely spiritual in character. The second part consists of general consultation on the affairs of the faith and delivers messages received. The third part is the material feast and social meeting of all the friends.
As we recognize our spiritual needs as individuals and communities, we also become aware of our material needs and responsibilities. The relationship between the spiritual and material is demonstrated in the Baha'i Fund, which has been likened to the lifeblood of our faith. As blood flows to all parts of our body, giving power for growth and movement, the fund enables the faith to grow, and without it, Baha'i activities would not be possible. The amount one gives is a personal decision and a special privilege of the believers, since non-Baha'is may not contribute to the Baha'i Fund. The faith will grow and become strong through our sacrifice alone.
In some parts of the world where there is little money, Baha'i families and communities often set aside a small plot of land upon which a crop is grown or an animal is raised for market. Sometimes an article is made for sale. The proceeds of this effort and sacrifice are then contributed to the Baha'i Fund. We should always remember the spiritual benefits which are gained when something is given freely to God.
There are other celebrations and observances within the Baha'i community. Special holy days honoring the birth and passing of the central figures of the faith, the great announcement of Baha'u'llah, the Baha'i New Year, and special days of hospitality and gift-giving. Each Baha'i and each community observes these events in different ways depending on their background.
Indian culture will be preserved and will flower as each community expresses that which is uniquely theirs in their manner of observance. Special events wherein we can learn and share the teachings of Baha'u'llah and his great message of unity and oneness are a time of great joy for Baha'is. These gatherings often take the form of powwows and council fires, where we come together inviting our families and friends to experience and share the unity of the faith, dance and sing with special talks, so that others may learn that the Great Spirit has again sent guidance for mankind through his messenger, Baha'u'llah.
The greatest gift of God in this day is for each of us and each Baha'i community to share our belief in Baha'u'llah as the one for whom we have all waited, and expand the circle of unity long sought by our people.
The promises of the past give us reason for a promising and hopeful future, one of unity and understanding among all people. The Baha'i teachings are like a bridge which connects our past with the present day. As in building a house, our Indian culture is the foundation. The teachings of Baha'u'llah provide the tools with which we can build a strong house and live in harmony with the plan of God.
Our small Baha'i communities may appear as scattered trees apart from the forest, but the meaning of our lives are connected in our relationships with each other and our homeland. Just as who our ancestors were could not be separated from where and how they lived. As Baha'is, we continue to try and maintain a right relationship in a state of balance and reverence for the bounties of life.
May your hearts be enlightened. May your faces become radiant.
May your spirits be illumined. May your thoughts find wider range of vision.
May your spiritual susceptibilities be increased. May the realm of God surround you.
And may your hearts become the treasury of heaven. This is my hope. Abdul Baha.